Hello everyone, Amanda here. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I'm going to go through all of the main supplies, basic supplies that I use, because I get asked on nearly every video what card I use, what tape I use, what glue I use, what paper I use, what weight do I use. So I'm going to tell you everything on this video, and I will leave links to everywhere that I buy them on this video. It's non-affiliate, I'm not earning any commission, it's just because I get asked so many times. So cardstock, right, so my favourite cardstock is black because it doesn't show the dirt and it goes with anything, just like my clothes. These are my PJs. And my most favourite cardstock of all time is the Craft UK Limited black card. It's 225 GSM. Now, I'm a lucky duck. I bought about 25 packets of this all in one go, okay? And I'm coming to the end of it, and I cannot get this anywhere. I've looked and I look regularly, and I can't get it in the black. They do, you can get the white. The white is 250 GSM, it's slightly thicker, and they do also do a craft coloured one. So if you see any of this round and about anywhere, you might see it at craft shows, you might find some online. Craft UK Limited 225. Grab it with both hands, as many packets as you can, and run, because it's the best cardstock ever. So what determines what's good cardstock? Let me tell you. First of all, when you cut it, you don't have a furry edge. Now, that can happen if your blades are blunt, but 9 times out of 10, it's a sign of poor quality cardstock, okay? You know, you're trimming it, it goes all furry and there's all bits everywhere. You don't want that. Also, when you cut it, you get a black core, not a white core. I've bought cheap card before and you cut into it and the middle's white. Like, what the heck? Couldn't you be bothered to dye it all the way through or what? Terrible, okay? Also, when you fold and burnish, when you score it, and then you burnish it, it doesn't fray on the edge where you've folded it. And a really good cardstock, you should be able to fold it backwards and forwards all day long, and it doesn't matter, it won't split. So in that instance, you know, they'll tell you to make sure you score on the right side and then fold the other way. If you've got a good cardstock, it shouldn't matter, because even if you score that way, you should be able to fold that way, that way, that way, and that way all day long. I could fold that for a week. It's going nowhere, okay? So that was my all-time favourite. Now, it's become hard to get. I think I'm down to my last 3 packets. And so I've looked for an alternative. And I've been using this one and trying this one for a while. So this is Lime Tree Craft, okay? Lime Tree Craft, all one word.com. I will link this company in the description box below. Now, I thought this was 250 GSM, but when I've looked on the label, it's actually 270, okay? A little bit heavy, in my opinion, but, you know, I've been using it, not realising, for my hybrids and my folios and things, and it's been fine. So 270 is fine. I really wouldn't go any further than that. Otherwise, when you're doing your pockets with flaps, it's going to be bulky, okay? So I wouldn't go up to like 300. If they did a 250, I would buy that. Absolutely. But this is lovely. It's good. The same. It scores beautifully. It folds beautifully. It's sturdy. It's going nowhere. It doesn't warp. It's brilliant. I have looked on the website today. This is in stock. This is the 270. They've also got a 220 in stock. And I have considered getting some to try. But, you know, I don't know if I want to go lower than 225. But I might get some and try it just to see what it's like. But yes, so Lime Tree Craft for the black card, okay? It's a slightly paler black than the UK, Craft UK one. But I can live with it because the quality is good, all right? So that is my black cardstock. I would never go normally below 225, and I certainly wouldn't go above the 270, okay, in the thickness. If you're in the USA, if you Google GSM to pound weight, you will you'll get the conversion. So, you know, like for folios and things like that, this weight of paper, it's not too bulky, it's nice and sturdy, it's not going to split. I love it, okay? Let's move that out of the way. My paper. So my paper for printing, I use Navigator brand, okay? Now, I use this brand. There are others. There's, you know, you can get your Canon or your Epsom, you know, and they do say that you should get the same brand paper as what your printer is, because then you're always going to get the best results. Well, maybe, but, you know, it can be expensive. I get this because it's budget friendly. Okay, so the important thing you want to look for is it says ultra smooth. So it's nice and smooth, so when it goes through your printer and you're going to have a nice smooth surface. Okay, and it says somewhere, ultra white, there we go, ultra bright. That means it's a lovely bright white, okay? Not an off-white, not a funny colour, it's not got speckles in it, it's ultra bright. Also, ultra bright and ultra smooth. This is 120 GSM. I just find that's a nice weight for me, okay? And I will use that for my journal pages. I will use that to layer as patterned paper on things like folios and albums. It's a nice weight, okay? Especially in your albums and things, because you're not adding extra bulk. With thick scrapbooking paper, I can print it on here and it's nice. If I want it a little bit heavier, I'll print it on lightweight cardstock. For example, like for these little insertion points, okay? So that's what I use. That's just my preference. I find it easy to get. I get it normally from big Tesco's, Tesco's, Asda, and I pay approximately £5 a pack. How many sheets you getting in there? Does it tell you? 250 sheets, okay? Now, if you're in the USA or another country, you know, you'll have to trial and error. But 120 GSM is my go-to weight. All right? Okie doke. You can get it on Amazon, but it's probably double the price. Tape. So first of all, everybody asked me about this. This is it's called acrylic fabric tape. Okay, and this is what I use to bind my journal covers together. Instead of wrapping them with cardstock, I add my spine and then I use this stuff. Use it for other stuff as well. It's super lightweight. It's fabulous. Okay, now I just get it on AliExpress. I just get it from the same place every day and every time and re-add it to basket. It is 45mm wide. Okay, I don't know if that one's actually slightly thinner. Let me see. So I've got one that's slightly thinner than the other. Let me see. Is it this one that's thinner? Yeah. 45mm wide. That is 1 3/4. Okay. You could probably go down to 1.5 inches. I wouldn't go any less than that. I've got a thinner one here, which is, what's that? That's 1 3/8, and that's too thin. Okay. Again, I will leave a link to where I get it. Doesn't necessarily mean it's at the best price, but you can pick it up when they've got their offers on. And I do know that if you are in the USA, okay, you can get something more or less the same as this. I'm not saying that the quality is the same. The quality may differ. But I do know that Paper Phenomenon, so that's Paper Phenomenon, .com, yeah, she sells it and she calls it her P3 tape, right? It's the same stuff. Her quality might be superior. I don't know where she gets it from, but it's the same stuff, okay? It's acrylic fabric tape with the peel off back and it's super wafer thin. It's awesome stuff, okay? And you get quite a lot on a roll. It lasts you a while. I won't pay any more than, I think I'll pay up to about £9 for it in British money, okay? In UK money. Sterling. I don't know, I always say the wrong thing. I'll say America when I should be saying USA, and I'll say British money when I should be saying UK. You know what I mean? I won't pay any more than £9 for it. Sometimes you can get it on offer. If it's on offer, I'll just buy 2 of them, so I always spend the same anyway. Okay, but this is my lifeline. It makes making things so much easier. I've got tutorials on how to use it. Right, double-sided tape. Right, let me just show you something. If I can just grab it. I once went online and I bought a whole heap of double-sided tape in different sizes. I thought, oh, that's a bargain. This stuff is absolutely useless, okay? It comes undone. It's no good for what I do, which are these kind of construction pieces. It'd be all right for maybe layering on cards, Apart from that, it's no good, because I've used that, and after even an hour, the flaps here are lifting. Don't use cheap card on construction pieces like folios, hybrid journals, mini albums, that kind of thing. Don't, because it's just not worth the headache. I used it on one hybrid journal once, and I had to go back and re-glue every single part that I'd used this on, because they all came off. Right? So don't think that cheap tape is you know, it's not worth it. So previously, I've only ever recommended this one, which is the Score Pal tape, or Score. This is Score tape. Yeah, Score Pal. So it's the Score Pal brand. It's actually got Su Kwang on the tape. That must be the manufacturer. Okay. And then obviously Score Pal buy it and repackage it. Made in Korea. Yeah, distribute. Yeah, so Score Pal are a distributor. Su Kwang are the manufacturer. Okay. Fantastic stuff. It's the best tape ever, but it's expensive. I normally get this from the Mad Scrapper in the UK, because I always try and support small businesses where I can, and I've always been super happy with it. But you know, it's dear, so I've had to always be frugal and only use it on my projects that I'm sharing on YouTube, and the rest of the time I'll use glue. But sometimes, you know, using glue, you've got to wait ages for things to dry. Then I came across a video a couple of days ago, and I tripped over the lovely Paul Ford. I've genuinely never come across this chap before. I don't watch enough YouTube, I don't think. And he's an ambassador for Graphic 45. And my beady ears, my little ears were wagging, and I heard him mention the brand of tape that he used. So I tottled on over to my computer, and I looked them up. And when I had a look at the price, I was shooketh. I was shocked. Okay. And the company that he wasn't promoting them, he just literally said where he got it from. It is Cool Cats Craft, right? So it's Cool, and then Cats is KATZ, and then Craft. I'll try my best to post links for everything beneath the video. And I just thought, if he's working with Graphic 45 paper, that chap is not going to be using rubbish tape. Okay? And my wiggling ears did hear him say that it was as good as Score Pal tape. So I thought, I'm going to trust you. You seem a nice Welsh gentleman. I'm going to give it a go. So I tottled on over to Cool Cats Craft, and I got some. Now, it's the same price as the Score Pal tape, you will notice. Okay, I got 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch. But can you see a big difference? You're getting double the amount. So these are 50 metres and these are 25 metres. That's a big difference, okay? So one of these, it's 50p more than that, but it's going to last you twice as long. You do the math, okay? So there you go. And then I got this. Again, I don't think I quite comprehended how much I'd bought and how big it was going to be. So this is foam tape, but it's black foam tape. So let me cut some off and show you. So the side profile of it is black. Now, why does that matter? Well, all of my foam tape has always been white. And like you can see here, if I want to do something with black cardstock, if I use a black foam tape, then when you see the side profile, it doesn't look as unpleasing on the eye as having a white strip showing. So I thought I'll buy some. It seems nice. It's a nice dimension. It's just going to be enough for shakers. I seem to have bought a roll that's bigger than, well, it is bigger than my head. How many inches is that? And it's about 13 inches. It's gonna be, so we're going to be making lots of shakers, guys. Okay, right, what else do I want to tell you about? So we've done my tape, we've done my glue. So the glue that I'm currently using is the Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. And I got this because it was on offer. I got heaps of them, okay, on offer in Amazon. I think I got like 9 bottles or something stupid, six or 9 bottles for the same price as 1 bottle. So I thought, well, you know, even we'll see what it's like. But I knew it was good glue because I had previously bought the My Sweet Petunia glue press, which has the small bottles of glue in. Okay, you get a bottle of glue with it, you get a spare bottle, you get the nozzles, blah blah. And I know that it's good glue. Okay, but I thought, oh, it's going to be pricey keeping replacing this glue because it's about £8 a bottle, £7 or £8 a bottle normally for just these little ones. Whereas this bigger one was half the price of the smaller one. So buy the bigger bottles, guys, and decant them if you've got one of these. So these, you can buy the fine tip nozzles with the little needles in. Okay, it's already got a needle in there. So if you remember and you put it away carefully, every time you use it, it won't get bunged up. Okay, that one's a little bit bunged up because I don't put them away properly. However, they come with quite a fine tip anyway. Okay, I do find it does bung up if you don't put the lid back on straight away. So I have a paper clip and I'll just do that. Okay, it's annoying, but it is a good glue. And if you put the lid on straight away in between uses, but we don't do it, we'll leave it laying on our desk or just there a minute. And if you do leave it for more than a minute or so, it will literally bung up. Okay. That's the only downside to it, but it's really strong, it's really good, and it dries really fast. It doesn't warp your paper. It dries a little too fast for my liking. You don't get a lot of wiggle room, but it is very, very good. Okay, it doesn't leave if you wipe it away because you've used too much, it doesn't leave nasty dirty marks on your paper. And the glue press does help me with precision because my hand-eye coordination is shocking. These aren't cheap. This was a treat to myself to help me with my precision because it's got that tiny tip, and to help me with my the amount of glue that I use because I always use too much. So with this, it's easier. You've got more control over how much glue you're using. And also, you know, I craft for quite a lot of hours at a time. You know, it does ache your hands. And so having this little trigger, can I get that in there? No. This is the only thing with these little pins. There we go. So having the trigger, you know, it just helps me. It does, you know, you are going to be putting strain on there if you're using it a lot. So if you've got tendon problems, you know, is it really any better use if you're bad with your hands? Maybe. It does help, okay? But I'm not a doctor or a surgeon, so I don't know. I use it for the precision and the control of use. All right. The other glue that I do sometimes use is the Collal. This is just the same as Beacon 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac. It is a clear, drying, solvent-based glue. So it's just the same as Fabri-Tac. This one's slightly thinner, okay? It's a heck of a lot cheaper. And in my opinion, it's better because it's thinner. You don't use as much and it doesn't gunk up in the bottle. You don't have to keep shaking the bottle like that because it's going all gloopy. This doesn't do that like Fabri-Tac and Beacon 3-in-1 does. This, I believe, is only available in the UK though, okay? And I pay about between £10 and £14 for that 1,000ml bottle, okay? So that's all of the items that I use because I keep getting asked, okay? So I will leave links to that. I will look for a link to the Crafty Cats. I will also leave a link to the Mad Scrapper because this really is it really is good. I'm still trialing this, but I did try it on some cardstock and it's going nowhere. The only thing that I noticed about this tape, and I don't know if you'll see, is that when it sticks, when you put it on, it's clear, and then when it sticks, it seems to have like a bit of a milky edge to it. So you would have to be super careful to never go over and have your tape protruding, or you will see it, okay? You won't get away with it. But look how, that's going nowhere. Absolutely no. It is as good as the Scorpal. And for the price and the fact that you're getting double, I would say it's better, okay? It's better value for money. And everybody always asks me about these. You can't buy them. My friend made it for me. Hard lines. You'll have to make your own. There's loads of tutorials on YouTube. That is a beaded pokey tool, okay? And I believe these are like upholstery needles, heavy duty upholstery needles, and then the beaded. Okay? All right, what else do I get asked? My scissors. My scissors are Stampin' Up snips from Stampin' Up. I love them. And my trimmer is also from Stampin' Up. Where is it? Where's my trimmer? What is here? It's also from Stampin' Up. I don't buy an awful lot of things from Stampin' Up, but this trimmer I will stand by until the day I die. It is the most precise, the most accurate, and the easiest to use, and obviously it folds up small. This trimmer, although you have to replace the blades, okay, is the most accurate cutter. I've got the Tim Holtz guillotine one. It's pants. You can cut the tiniest slivers off with these, okay, tiniest slivers, and it's also a scoring tool, okay, and it's always beneficial if you've got a cutter and a scorer from the same brand on the same thing, because your measurements are going to match. If you start cutting with a Tim Holtz rotary trimmer and then you're scoring with, I don't know, Martha Stewart, this sizes can be different, okay. So I stand by this. I love mine, and hopefully they won't ever stop making the blades, or I'm going to have a hissy fit, okay. So I think that covers just about everything. What other, these are Fiskars. They're just standard scissors. I don't use anything fancy. Other than that, let me think, what ink do we use? Archival ink, the Ranger archival ink, okay. Other than that, I think I've covered everything. My bone folders are Craft Treat. My friend actually sent me these, and then I had to go and buy another one because I must have accidentally thrown it in the bin. And these are Teflon bone folders. They're not bone, they're not plastic, okay. I never actually realised originally that bone folders were actually made out of bone, okay, and it horrified me. I threw them all in the bin. These are Teflon. You know, you can argue, well, plastic's as bad as bone, but I'm gonna get lots of use out of them. And the upside to these is when you are folding and scoring and burnishing, especially on black card or other coloured card, it doesn't leave white marks, okay. So that's why the Teflon ones are good. I think that covers it. I think that's everything. I'm going to love you and leave you. Look in the links below in the description box below for the links, and I hope it helps. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.